Now for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean. This is where you could say everything changes. How? Women. Okay, I'll expand a little better. We get our first female protagonist, but also our first female leads. We all know throughout JoJo we've never had more than about one female character, let alone 3. But let's see how Stone Ocean plays out. It's the year 2012, and we meet Jolene Kuja, the daughter of Chitara. But we meet her as she's locked away in prison for accused of murder and being moved to the Green Dolphin Street prison in Florida. She resents her father for never being around, but when she receives an amulet from him, cutting herself unlocks her stand ability, giving her the drive to survive the harsh prison life. But when her father finally visits, her true motives appear by a mysterious stand user. He steals Jotara's stand and memories, but also using the inhabitants of the prison to fight Jolene. She has to figure out who Whitesnake really is, recover her father's lost memories, escape the dangerous prison, gather the trustworthy allies and stop the mysterious priest, who's fueled by Dio's influence from attaining the power known as Heaven. Already I think this is a cool story, but with a new story comes new stands. Stand 104. Now I'm going to bring up something I noticed when reading this story, and have happened in previous stories, but not as much as in this one. Well, it's just that all the bad guy stands don't cause direct damage, i.e. punching and hand-to-hand combat, but do passive damage, like only using their abilities. It doesn't bother me that much, because it makes the good guys not rely on strength but on smarts. But it's a little unfair for the bad guys that don't get over-the-top punching stands. Now for the characters, and always will be the good guys and the sole bad guy. The first female protagonist, Jolene Kuja. She seems to be a lost cause and hates her father for leaving the family before she went to prison. She was covering for her boyfriend when both accidentally killed someone, but was tricked and sentenced to 15 years in prison. She receives an amulet, which seems to be a piece of a stand arrow, and she gets her stand and thus starts to mature in the harsh prison life. She's the first JoJo character in a long time we get to see the growth. She becomes stronger. When her father loses his memories in front of her, she becomes more determined to save him, escape the prison, and stop Poochie. She's a great addition to the proud history of Joestars. Stone Free is a stand of string, a sort of cross between Star Platinum and Hierophant Green. It can unravel itself and herself, but also deals powerful blows. Stone Free can perform a number of tasks at great speed, like create handcuffs, grab objects, and even become a bulletproof vest. It is a very useful and powerful stand. Hermes Costello is an inmate at the same time of Jolene, but seems to know much more about the prison, and because of Jolene's amulet gets her stand as well. She helps Jolene in prison life, but her reason for arrest was to get close to a man in the prison that killed her sister, and after she gets her revenge, she teams up with Jolene and becomes a close friend with her. Kiss has the ability to multiply an object by placing stickers on them. She can even double a person's limb. But when the sticker is removed, the two objects will be forcefully smashed back together with incredible force. FF, aka Foo Fighter, is not only Jolene's ally, but also actually a stand herself. She was Common Plankton given a stand by Poochie, and was his guard, until Jolene got her to help her, so she took over a dead inmate's body to help her. She wishes to learn more about being a human, and grows a strong bond with Jolene, and willingly protects her time and time again. Her ability is to manipulate water, so she commonly turns her finger into a gun and shoots water bullets, but she dehydrates and needs to drink a lot of water, which also heals her from wounds. Weather Report is a man who has lost his memory, which is why he shares the same name as his stand. He feels it is Whitesnake's fault, which is why he is in prison. He is a kind man who without hesitation helps Jolene to stop Whitesnake. He is a mysterious man, and when we learn his past, it's a great twist in the story and a shocking reveal. His stand is Weather Report, which can manipulate weather to a degree. It can perform tasks relating to air, freezing water, and even make it rain frogs. It seems to be one of the most powerful stands in the whole JoJo series, but a most dangerous one as well. Anasu has had the odd obsession of taking things apart since he was a child. He took cars apart, and took his girlfriend and the man she cheated on with apart, which is why he was sent to prison. At first he seems a selfish man who only has his own goals in mind, but he surprised everyone when he said he would help Jolene, and that he was in love with her. He might seem odd at first, but it seems his love is true, and willing to sacrifice himself for the one he loves. Diver Down lets his childhood obsession become his power. Diver Down phases into objects, surfaces, and even people, and can rearrange its structure to his liking. A very versatile stand indeed. Emporio is a boy born within the prison, and lives there in secret with the help of his stand. He is kind-hearted and compelled to help Jolene to stop the evil Pucci. Burning down the house lets Emporio enter the ghost rooms of the prison. Rooms that were lost in a fire are now his to enter, with all the lost items still intact and at his disposal to use. JoJo does make an appearance, but more at the climax, and is cool as ever, but for the most part the Speedwagon Foundation takes care of him. Now, Enrico Pucci is the reason for Jolene's imprisonment. The man who stole Jotaro's stand and memories, stole Weather Report's memories, Dio's friend, and a man of faith. When being a priest in training, he let Dio stay in his church for the night, and in return Dio gave him his stand, and taught him about what he needs to create a perfect world and get heaven. He's a cool villain, hides his true motivation behind his priest manner, but uses anyone to achieve his goal. I would like to talk him a lot more, I need to explain his stands more. Whitesnake is his stand for most of the story, and has the ability to remove a person's stand and memories, and put them onto a disc. He can insert them into himself to learn their memories, and other people can do the same and even gain stands. Sea Moon is when Whitesnake begins to transform, and causes gravity to shift in a 3-kilometer radius. Only he and Pucci is unaffected, and when he hits anything, he can invert the gravity within the object, turning it inside out. Finally, when the transformation is complete, Pucci receives Heaven, which is the ultimate stand, which can create his world. Stairway to Heaven, also called Made in Heaven. Made in Heaven accelerates time, making him move super fast, but turns days into hours, and makes the world become unraveled, causing time to change. I'll try not to say much more about this power, but it does lead into how Part 7 happens. But the climax of this story is one you must read. To conclude, Part 6 is refreshing, and it was meant to revamp the series. It's cool seeing a female lead, and we do get the father-daughter family problems, which you believe due to Jotaro's nature. But this series has a lot of odd moments which made my jaw drop. But I'll make an extra video to tell you about all of them. Part 6 is good because it does a lot with its characters, its stands, gets a little stranger, and I like the prison setting for a JoJo character. But now we must leave Jolene and everyone, because now we go back in time, and to an alternate time, where we visit the Wild West, meet Johnny Joestar, embark on a journey of self-discovery, bring back old friends, find the corpse parts of a saint, and most of all take part in the biggest race in history. Next time, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 7, Steel Ball Run.